Hello everyone and welcome back to PathtoNowhere with also Galcon. And sorry for the black screen here because the video will start in the middle of a cutscene. So sorry about that and let's get on with the show.
Sound of them.
Laura, are you okay? Get off me, you bastard! Laura!
Is she called Laura? Poor thing. She's on her deathbed now. If you can answer my questions, I'll let you save her.
Go to f***ing hell, you Stop!
Where is the sinner you took in yesterday?
She's in the basement. Anne, the head nurse, sent her down there herself.
Then?
I don't know. I'm not allowed to go down there. It's there.
What did the sinner have with her? Did she say anything?
Her? No, I don't know. I didn't get close to her. Really? No! Please! Don't shoot! I heard her saying things like inheritance. She's found something. Something about power. That's all I heard. I know nothing, but I've told you everything I've heard.
Inheritance? I knew she had it. Did you notify the Legion of this? I know your medical director is friends with the Legion.
No, I don't know. The medical director, Iron, is away and hasn't returned yet, so we can't reach her.
Very well. Did you hear that, Chief? It's this inheritance that can control mania and set off this crisis. Even the Legion wants it. We have to get it as soon as possible, and must not let it fall into the hands of others.
No, please, Laura is still young. She's in so much pain, please.
She's lost too much blood. This is how I'll save her. Don't worry. I have good aim.
No!
Chief, you are too kind. But Syndicate has no room for such kindness. If he goes back and leaks intel about you, then SALVA will not let you off easily. I know them. I know what SALVA wants and what they will do. I know it all, and it's disgusting.
An ambush?
See, Chief, this is SALVA. They collect these monsters on the battlefield and create them in the hospital. Corruptor, remember this name. They are more powerful and dangerous than those pathetic, maniac gangsters.
So corruptors, they are the most common enemies that you will face in the game. Although Ted's claim of SALVA making a lots and lots of them doesn't make any sense considering, Syndicate is in the middle of chaos every single time, so that wouldn't be possible. Well, I mean, they are possible. In fact, as you will see later on in the story, they can actually make them. It's not in the level of capacity that Ted claims though. Anyway, let's see how I should assess this situation. So in this stage, a lot of the enemies, in fact all of the enemies actually spawn on the right side. And I'm just going to put my range units into these positions. And fun fact, I actually obtained some more of these sinners throughout gacha, obviously. But others are, you can get it in the game, like for example Hekate and EMP, as those two sinners I placed earlier. And yeah, don't forget KK as well. And you too, Hella. And last but not least, I'm going to put the best unit, I guess, that I get through the gacha system in this game, and that is Bai. And Bai, if you didn't know, was the very first character that was introduced into the game. So when PathtoNowhere was developed, it was called Project Dark, and Bai was like the main mascot of the game. Although I couldn't imagine, how Bai will be in the main, if that game was to be developed. Because if you take a look at even the slightest of how Bai interacts with basically everyone throughout the entire main story, it's hilarious. I think they try to make it way too hard, and then they suddenly realize, oh yeah, we are going to have a mascot character that is basically the person who didn't pay for their stuffs in when you go to the shop. And if you don't understand, this is the very first time that I played in this mission, and I have no idea how Bai was supposed to work, and I didn't know there was a type of class. So because I just kind of glossed over pretty much everything that the game tries to tutorial me. And at this time, I just realized that Bai took a lot of damage to just one unit, because that unit is an archer, but that person decided to just move forward for some whatever reason, and then that person got killed. And also the Bai's ultimate is something that I didn't know how to use back then. What you're supposed to do is to move Bai into an entirely different block in order to attack and use the ultimate, which deals like a lot of damage. And also I have no idea at the time how to use Ruleka's ultimate. And it wasn't later on, like I don't know, like a few days later, in fact, that I figured out that Ruleka's ultimate is based on luck. So during the next 6 attacks, she can deal between 50% to 225% of her normal attacks. And I also didn't realize at the time that KK, being an Endura class Sinner, Endura class can only hold 2 enemies at a time, not more than that. So that's why you will see later on that Hecate does take hit. And at this moment, I just realized that Bai has died, and I was like, wait, hang on a second. I think that one of my characters has died, but I couldn't figure out what it was. Like at that moment, I thought that Bai is going to be like absolute garbage. In fact, she's not. She's actually a really good unit. Although you have to pay attention to how she consumes the movement amount that this game provides. Looking back at this recording, and when I am right now at the time where I have all the knowledge of the game, and after suffering through everything else, and yeah, this is the moment where I accidentally slipped my fingers, and that caused KK to die as well. I screwed up a lot because I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Like I didn't move Ruleka or EMP into the middle until like it's much later than it's supposed to be. And as I narrating this, it feels so much cringe in this video. Because you go into the phase of, this is the coolest thing that you can do in the game, and then you look back and was like, oh my god, what in the world I just did that there.
This is what a maniac turns into. Being consumed by the overwhelming power, and completely transformed into a monster controlled by mania. Those in SALVA are collecting corpses of the corruptors and carrying out shady experiments in the hospital basement to gain the power of the mania. The medical director, Iron, is crazy about developing various forbidden surgeries to distort the minds of the Syndicans with mania to brainwash them. SALVA's obsession with mania is an open secret among the Syndicate gangs. Since they worked with Suspect R to spark off this massive mania plague, they must be trying to obtain greater power.
You keep calling sinners monsters, culprits who spread mania. I'm a sinner too. Are you gonna explode if I bite you?
How annoying. I offered to work together not so that a sinner can give me attitude. You should discipline her, Chief. Stop her barking around. Otherwise, Even your lapdog will be gotten rid of.
I'm no one's lapdog! None of us are!
Chief,
Ah!
Is this power?
Ow, it hurts. This again. What did you do? What did you do to me this time, jerk?
sinners can never defy their master's order. Hela never tried to disobey the chief.
You can suppress sinners completely. This isn't any ordinary technology. What is it? Chief, I was wrong to say you can't keep your men disciplined. What a surprise you are.
Get lost! I don't want to follow your orders. I'm not your lapdog. One day, I will kill you and break free. One day! Bastards. Go to hell. Go to hell, all of you.
Please, follow me, Chief. My subordinates have come to meet you.
What about the SALVA men? Didn't you say they would leak intel?
The Chief wants to spare his life, and I respect the Chief's wishes. Besides, he isn't able to do anything now.
Yep, and oh, I got another level up. Nice. Although that particular mission, I made it way too hard than it should have been. I think I said that like twice or 3 times already. Oh, what is this? Inauguration resources. Maybe I should go back into the main menu and then take a look and what's this all about. And where's the back? There you go. Oh, it's like sort of like dailies for beginners, like the newcomers. And on the 3rd day I got Luvia Ray and this character, and also a costume for EMP as well. And by the way, you cannot obtain this costume that I put on Hecate anymore because that was the reward for the pre-registration event. But now let's move on into the next mission, which is called not Arts Intelligence, because that's the previous mission that I'm doing at throughout this video. And let's move on into this one, which is Peacemaking. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, then be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you won't miss out anything that I put on this channel. Everything is free, you don't need to pay, and by subscribing you make this channel grow and flourish even more, which makes me happy so I can create more content for you to watch.
Boss Ted, everything's ready.
Good. This is the head of the Sinner Bureau. We'll be counting on him to take down Salva.
Chief? Welcome! And who are these 2 pretty gals behind you?
They are sinners. Don't worry. They can't disobey the Chief's order. The Chief isn't anyone ordinary.
Really? Then aren't these monsters just like dogs on chains? They deserve this. Well done, Chief.
Chief, my men are rough guys. I apologize if they've offended you. Chief, a few of my men had lost their minds, turned into monsters, and died in this riot. The rest of them don't know what they'll become tomorrow. I can put up with it for your sake, but I can't control what my men think. I don't have the shackles that you have. But why should you consider their feelings? They are just your tools, and you are their master. Think about it. Your power, the shackles, is so strong that even those monsters have no choice but to kneel at your feet and listen to your orders. You know how much I respect you.
You're nothing but a dog, you monsters, bitch! One day, I'll kill you dead!
You wanna join in too? Come on! Let me take all of you! Huh?
Wow, you're disobeying the chief? That's it, come on! Use the shackles to teach you a hard lesson!
As soon as you left, these guys started to provoke us. This man on the ground hit Hella with a stick first.
Chief, you
rotten bastard! I knew you mother were up to no good with those rotten You are full of lies! If you don't discipline your dog, we will!
soon. These kinds of thugs can hurt me. What? Yes!
And this is the battle where the game teaches you about certain buffs that a sinner can have if they step on a certain block. And this is one of those game mechanics that I wish the game used this more, because later on in the stages you will see like stage gimmicks and sort of stuff, and you have to use those stage gimmicks in order to win the battle. But for now, let's focus things at hand, which we're going to fight against a bunch of doctors and you know, your common mooks in this game. And also, I think this is also the very first map where there are some restriction to where a sinner, you can put a sinner in. Like for example, those I don't know how to call it, but those black thingies on behind the Ruleka, you cannot put a sinner there. And you're going to see it much more into the game as you progress through the main story. And not only the main story, but there are a bunch of challenges as well that there are some restrictions like this. And also, I think this is the very first time that I am going to use a brand new sinner, and that her name is Peggy. Peggy is the Endura class, just like KK. But what makes Peggy better than KK is the fact that she can heal herself. That's one thing that makes KK worse than Peggy, at least in my opinion. can only get her through gacha, but not through the main story mode, unfortunately. Right, where I'm going to put my sinners in, I put Hekache on the buff because she's like the strongest one that I have, at least at the time of this recording. And I mean EMP there, and Flora. Flora doesn't have a core breaker ultimate. You can tell which sinners does have that ability, which one that has it and which one isn't, by looking at the red icon. The red one means that the sinners has the capability to breaking cores. And last but not least, this is the second time, if I'm not mistaken, that you control 6 sinners, and that is going to be the maximum amount of sinners that you can use throughout the battle. And unlike Archknights, I can't redeploy my sinners. What that meant is I cannot change my sinners into someone else. Like for example, I'm going to switch Pepper into battle and then replacing, let's just say, EMP or Hekache, that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm still thinking of what sinners that I'm going to put in this battle, especially when the last battle I had 2 of my sinners died, and I do not want to repeat that. Right, I'm still thinking of which kind of unit that I want to put in the battle. I'm thinking of like Ruleka here, because like we are currently lacking range units. Well, I say that as I have Hekache and EMP in the field, and both of them are range units. And let's see, She here. She, I have. Oh, by the way, funny little story. I have no idea how good She was when I played this game. I think like he is like a mediocre unit, and it wasn't later on when I look at the tier list on the internet and people say that She is like one of the most overpowered B-class sinners in the game. But you know what? We already have one defender. Why not we add another one? Let's see what Peggy can do. You know, I want to showcase this brand new sinner that I get. And you know what? And let's switch the position between Wendy and Peggy, and we can now start the battle. And also, top tip: if you see SALVA medical unit, please murder it as fast as possible. Unlike me, which you will see later, it took me a while to eventually murder that thing, and it caused one of the monsters to slip it through my defenses. And yeah, right after this, there's going to be yet another cutscene, so I'm just going to stay silent for now on until the cutscene ends.
I'm ashamed of this, Chief. It won't happen again. I promise. You're right, Chief. A fight like this is more direct than a verbal argument. I can see you already know to socialize with the syndicates. Now I know how important they are to you. I'm very surprised, but I'll get my men under control. I'm very grateful. I've come up with many plans to take down the SALVA basement, but every one of them is extremely risky. But it doesn't matter now that you're with us. Together, we'll be able to take down SALVA with minimal loss.
Forgive him this easily? He's just playing along in front of you. Who knows what he actually thinks? How impressive, Chief. You really have thought it through and managed to get Ted to do what you want. So Ted was right about they're important to you? Huh? Was it just a bluff? Was it genuine? Did you help me because we're important to you? Come on, Chief. Tell me. Who are you trying to fool? You think I'll fall for this? Listen, one day I'll break free from your shackles. I want my liberty! Liberty! See ya! Nevertheless, as a coward who only ever hides behind people, you deserve recognition for standing up for me. Before dumping you, I'll help you one more time. You should cherish this opportunity. Don't you need to take down whatever that crazy hospital is?
Finally that cutscene is done. And before I end this video, there's one thing that I'm going to show you, and that is called the surveillance order. So the surveillance order is essentially AISNO way to make money from this game, because the only thing that is really they decided to monetize is their skin. Although there are some skins which you can get in the game without any kind of payment. So as you can see, there are a bunch of tasks that I need to do, like for example dailies, weekly tasks, and monthly tasks. So daily tasks is like you have to upgrade one unit of your sinner, use let's say 100 to 300 stamina, and like monthly tasks which like use the gacha system to arrest 20 characters or sinners in this case. And with this task being completed, you get a surveillance order reward, which rewards from a bunch of these coins, mana crystals, or even in some cases actually can offer you the gacha tickets in order to use the gacha without the use of hypercubes. And there's another thing that also unlock after this, which is the emotional check. So every time you delete this game, you get an emotional check which you can interact with the sinner, and they will increase the compliance for you. And last but not least, I want to go back and talk about the surveillance order once again. The only way that you can obtain those stickers that the game offers you is to literal payment. You can have two options, which is the standard surveillance order or the golden surveillance order. Obviously, the golden costs more and they will give you more. So that's basically pretty much everything that you need to know about surveillance order. And every month that will get changed. It depends on the kind of costume that they will offer to you. So you just have to check it out on the social media on PathtoNowhere. And this new chief assessment task here, you need to complete it. Make sure that you do, because if you completed the task, then you get Nox. This character is basically the most overpowered thing that this game ever produced. I mean, if you unlock this character, the entire story will become incredibly easy. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is Galcon signing it off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're entertained with this video, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care and bye bye.